What would you do if you discovered the woman you married was slowly erasing your daughter, cutting her hair, burning her clothes, destroying every reminder of the child's mother? Adrian Bennett was seconds away from losing his little girl forever. But one early arrival home, one desperate scream, one horrifying moment of truth, that's all it took for everything to come crashing down. Lily's scream ripped through the massive mansion like a knife through silence. "Help! Please!" Her tiny voice cracked as she stumbled into the hallway, clutching her head with shaking hands. The ends of her long brown hair were smoking, thin wisps curling upward, filling the corridor with the faint smell of burnt keratin. Her breath came in violent, panicked gasps as she fell to her knees, tears spilling down her soot-dusted cheeks. "Maria!" she cried, voice trembling. "It hurts! Maria!" The housekeeper, startled by the sudden shriek, dropped her laundry basket and ran. Her slippers smacked the marble floor as she slid toward the small body trembling on the ground. "Mi niña! Lily! Oh God, what happened?" Maria whispered, falling beside her. She gently cupped Lily's face, her voice shaky but soft. Let me see. Let me see." Lily shook her head frantically. I didn't mean, I was scared. Her words dissolved into sobs. Behind them, from the bathroom, Vanessa appeared in the doorway. Her hair was flawless, her dress untouched, but her face was twisted with guilt and fear, the kind that only comes from being caught doing something unspeakable. "Lily," Vanessa snapped, though her voice wavered. "Stop crying. It was an accident. You need to calm down right now." Maria's head snapped toward her, eyes blazing. "Accident? She's burned," Maria hissed. Vanessa stiffened, her jaw tightened. She took a slow, calculated breath as if preparing a lie. "It was the candle," Vanessa said, voice dripping with false calm. She wasn't listening. She moved suddenly. "I told her not to." Lily squeezed her eyes shut, whimpering. "I didn't... She said she'd send me away." Maria's heart clenched. "You threatened her." Before Vanessa could respond, something happened that none of them expected. The front door slammed shut downstairs. A familiar voice rose from the foyer. "Lily?" The deep, commanding voice echoed through the house. Vanessa's entire body froze, her eyes widened with dread. Adrian was home, hours early, unannounced. Lily's sobs grew louder at the sound of her father's voice. "Daddy," Maria gasped softly. "Gracias a Dios." Vanessa's breath turned shallow. She backed away from the bathroom doorway, as if distance could erase her involvement. "Maria, take her to her room, now. I'll handle Adrian." Maria ignored her as Adrian's footsteps thundered up the stairs. "Lily!" he shouted again, panic rising. "Lily!" His voice was sharper now, raw, terrified. Vanessa tried to intercept him, smoothing her hair quickly and stepping into the middle of the hallway just as he reached the top floor. "Oh, Adrian, you're home, He pushed past her without even hearing her. His eyes locked onto the scene instantly. Maria kneeling on the floor, holding Lily close. Lily trembling, hair ends burnt and smoking, tears streaking her face. Her tiny hands clutched the fabric of Maria's apron in agony. Adrian stopped breathing. "What happened to her?" he whispered, voice hollow. Lily reached toward him with shaking fingers. "Daddy." He snapped back to life. He dropped to his knees, scooping her into his arms with trembling hands. "Oh God, baby, what happened? Who did this?" Adrian's voice broke as he touched her burnt ends gently, trying not to hurt her. Lily cried into his shoulder. I was scared." Maria swallowed hard. She looked up at Adrian with eyes full of truth and rage she had been holding for months. "There was a candle," she said in a low, trembling voice. "A lit candle too close to her hair." Adrian's eyes darkened. "A candle? In the bathroom?" He turned slowly, like a man preparing for war. Vanessa stood frozen near the doorway, eyes wide, hands shaking. "It was an accident," she blurted quickly. She wasn't listening, she was acting out again. She moved too close. Adrian's expression went from confusion to realization, to pure, cold fury. "Vanessa," he whispered dangerously, "did you do this?" Her face tightened. "You're not listening. It was her fault. She wouldn't." He stepped toward her sharply. "Did you do this?" She flinched. Maria stood, placing herself between father and daughter like a shield. "Senor," she said quietly, "this was no accident." Lily trembled in his arms. Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She said she'd send me away forever. Something inside Adrian snapped. He pulled Lily closer, holding her as tightly and carefully as he could. He looked at Vanessa with eyes so cold they could freeze bone. I swear to God, he said in a low growl, if you laid a single harmful hand on my daughter. Vanessa broke. Adrian, she's manipulating you, she shouted. She's always trying to ruin us. She wants all your attention. You're letting a child destroy our marriage. At that, Lily whimpered painfully and buried her face deeper into her father's chest. Adrian's fury exploded silently, not in screams but in the terrifying stillness of a powerful man who had finally seen the truth. Maria, he said, jaw clenched, get the car. We're taking Lily to the hospital. Vanessa stepped forward. Wait, Adrian, please. He didn't even look at her. He carried his shaking daughter down the stairs as Vanessa watched, knowing her perfect world was about to collapse, and he said only one thing as he walked away. Touch my daughter again, and you will never set foot in this house. The front door slammed behind them. Vanessa stood alone in the hallway, shaking. The nightmare had only begun. Lily used to think the house was too big for just 3 people. On good days, it felt like a castle. On bad days, it felt like a maze made of cold marble and closed doors. She patted down the long hallway in her socks, the polished floor reflecting her small reflection as she carried a stack of colored pencils pressed to her chest. Her favorite spot was the little alcove at the end of the hall, beneath a tall window that overlooked the garden. The light there was soft and warm, perfect for drawing. She sat cross-legged, spread out her papers, and pulled out the one she always kept on top. A woman with kind eyes and long hair, smiling down at a baby. Her mother. Lily traced the outline of the woman's face with her finger, the pencil hovering just above the surface. Hi, Mommy, she whispered. I'm going to make you prettier today. She started shading the hair, trying to remember the exact color from the one photo she'd seen. Maria had shown it to her once while cleaning a drawer, before tucking it away like a secret. Adrian never talked about it. He would just go quiet when Lily asked and say, "She was wonderful. You're a lot like her." Sometimes that made Lily feel proud. Sometimes it made the house colder. Lily! Vanessa's voice snapped from the other end of the hall, sharp, annoyed. Why are these crayons all over the floor? Lily flinched and looked back. Vanessa stood with her arms crossed, perfectly styled in a fitted dress and heels that clicked against the marble. Her expression was already tight with irritation. They're colored pencils, Lily said softly. You were just making a mess, Vanessa cut in. Again. Lily's shoulders sank. She kept her eyes on the paper. I'll clean them up, she whispered. You should have done that the first time, Vanessa muttered. Honestly, this house looked like a museum before you. Maria appeared from a side corridor carrying folded towels. Miss Vanessa, I can help Lily put them away, she offered gently. Vanessa didn't even look at her. Just make sure she doesn't leave them lying around. Adrian almost slipped on one yesterday. Maria gave Lily a small, reassuring smile when Vanessa turned away. Don't worry, Michiello, she murmured in Spanish. Your drawings make this place feel alive. Lily smiled faintly and went back to her paper, but the words stuck. This house looked like a museum before you. Did that mean she ruined it? Downstairs in the kitchen that evening, the air smelled like garlic and roasting chicken. Maria hummed softly as she stirred a pot. Lily sat at the counter drawing as the TV murmured faintly in the background. Do you think Daddy will be home for dinner? Lily asked. Maria hesitated. Maybe, she said gently. He's very busy, you know. He said he'd try, Lily replied, more to herself than to Maria. He always says he'll try. Vanessa swept in, scrolling on her phone. She glanced at Lily's papers and stopped abruptly. What is that supposed to be? She asked. Lily looked down at her drawing. My family. 3 figures, Lily in the middle, holding hands with her father on one side, and a woman with long hair on the other. Vanessa's smile tightened. That doesn't look like me, she said coldly. Lily's fingers tightened around the pencil. She swallowed. It's Mommy, she said softly. My first mommy. Vanessa's jaw clenched. Maria stiffened at the stove. Well, your first mommy is gone, Vanessa said sharply. I'm the one here now. Maybe you should draw that instead. Lily's eyes burned. "Vanessa," Maria said quietly, trying to intervene. Vanessa ignored her. "I don't know why you keep living in the past," she continued, tossing her phone onto the counter. "Do you think Adrian likes being reminded of her every time he walks in?" Lily's voice shook. "I'm scared I'll forget her." Vanessa rolled her eyes. "You barely knew her," she muttered. "You were a baby. Honestly, the drama." She grabbed a glass from the cupboard and poured sparkling water. Lily looked down at her drawing again. Her chest ached. She wanted to crumple the paper. She wanted to hide it. But instead, she quietly drew a fourth figure beside her mother and father, a woman with straight hair and a tight smile. She didn't label that one. On weekends, when Adrian was home, the house felt different. He would lift Lily high into the air in the living room, spinning her until she squealed. "Higher, Daddy," she laughed. "If I go higher, we'll hit the chandelier," he'd joke. They'd collapse onto the couch, breathless, and he'd kiss the top of her head. Vanessa would appear in the doorway, arms folded, watching. "Adrian, she's going to fall," Vanessa would say. "I've got her," he'd answer. Every time Lily tucked herself under his arm, Vanessa's smile would strain. Just a little more. When Adrian brought Lily small gifts from his trips, keychains, sketchbooks, cheap plastic crowns, she lit up. She'd run to her room, line them up carefully, and treasure every one. Vanessa noticed. She noticed how Lily's eyes never glowed like that for her. Not for new dresses, not for piano lessons she forced on her, not for the manicures and hair appointments she scheduled as bonding. It wasn't enough that she was Adrian's wife. She wanted to be adored. And Lily's quiet loyalty to a mother buried in the past felt like a stain she couldn't scrub out. One evening, Adrian sat at the dining table, scrolling through emails between bites of food. Lily picked at her vegetables, glancing between him and Vanessa. "Daddy?" Lily asked timidly. "Yes, Pumpkin." "Will you come to school for Parent Day next week?" Adrian paused. "What day is it?" "Wednesday," she said quickly. "There's going to be a little art show. I'm drawing you." His expression softened. "I'd love to, sweetheart. I'll check my schedule." Vanessa set her fork down a little too loudly. "She's been asking about that all week," she said. "Don't make promises you'll cancel last minute." Adrian frowned. "I said I'll check." "You said you'd come last year," Vanessa reminded him, "and the year before. You missed both." Lily's shoulders tensed. "I know," Adrian said quietly. "I'll try." Lily swallowed. He'll try. Those two words always meant the same thing. Maybe. Maybe not. Vanessa saw the flicker of disappointment in Lily's eyes, and something twisted inside her. If Adrian missed it again, who would Lily blame? Not him. Never him. She'd blame herself. She'd blame Vanessa. She'd blame the world. Vanessa's jealousy hardened into resentment. If this child didn't exist, my life would be perfect. The thought came uninvited, ugly and sharp. She pushed it away. But it came back. Again. And again. Every time Adrian chose Lily over her, every time he softened when he looked at his daughter, every time he said, "She reminds me of her mother." That night, Lily sat on her bed with Maria braiding her hair. "Does Vanessa hate me?" Lily whispered quietly. Maria's hands paused. "No, mi amor," she said softly. "She is confused, lost inside her own heart." Lily stared at the wall. "I try to be good," she said. "Really, really good." "I know you do," Maria whispered, kissing the top of her head. "You are a good girl. None of this is your fault." Lily nodded, but her stomach still hurt. In the doorway, unseen, Vanessa watched them. The sight of Lily content in Maria's care, safe in Adrian's home, surrounded by reminders of a woman she could never replace, pushed something inside her over the edge. By the time the school's Family Heritage Day letter arrived, Vanessa's jealousy wasn't just a feeling anymore. It was a fuse, burning slow, waiting for the right spark. The envelope sitting on the kitchen island looked harmless at first, just another school notice. But for Lily, it was the most exciting thing she had seen in weeks. "Family Heritage Day," she whispered as she tore it open. Her eyes sparkled. She ran to Maria, who was chopping vegetables at the counter. "Maria, look, we get to bring something from our culture or our family history. Can you help me pick something?" Maria smiled warmly, wiping her hands on her apron. "Claro, mi cielo." What would you like to bring? Lily hesitated, her fingers tightening around the paper. I want to bring something of my mom's, she whispered, something that shows who she was. Maria's heart swelled with both warmth and worry. And what are you thinking of? My mom had a scarf, Lily said, voice soft but sure. The blue one with the little silver patterns. Daddy kept it in the drawer by his bed. I want to show everyone who she was, and that she was real. Maria nodded slowly. We will ask your father when he comes home. But Lily bit her lip. I already know where it is, she whispered. I found it once. I won't take it forever. Just for that day. Maria hesitated. She didn't want to encourage sneaking around, but the yearning in Lily's eyes was too deep to ignore. We'll do it the right way, Maria said gently, with his permission. Unfortunately, Vanessa had already heard every word. She had paused at the kitchen doorway when she heard, my mom and scarf, and the tightness in her chest grew with each second. Not again. Not another reminder of the woman she could never compete with. Vanessa stepped fully into the room, her voice sugary but stiff. What scarf are we talking about? Lily stiffened. It's just my mom's scarf, she said quietly. For school. Vanessa blinked. For school, she repeated. Why? Do they need props or something? It's Family Heritage Day, Lily explained. We all bring something from our family. I want to bring something of hers. Vanessa's smile faltered as jealousy flared. Sweetie, she said, walking closer and placing a hand on the counter, we don't need to dig up old things. You have me now. Maria's jaw clenched, but she stayed silent. Lily stayed firm. I still want to bring it. Vanessa exhaled sharply. Well, that's not going to happen. Lily froze. What? You're not taking that scarf anywhere, Vanessa said, her tone sharpening. It's inappropriate. Lily's eyes widened. But it's the only thing I have left from her. And that's exactly why it stays here, Vanessa said. It's delicate. You'll ruin it, or lose it, or it'll get dirty. No. Lily shook her head, tears forming. I won't lose it. I'll be careful. I said no, Vanessa snapped. Maria stepped forward. Miss Vanessa, it means a lot to her. Vanessa turned on Maria. Stay out of this. Lily's voice trembled. Daddy will let me. Something inside Vanessa cracked. Oh, don't you dare use him against me, Vanessa hissed. Adrian has more important things to worry about than some silly school show. Lily flinched. Maria stepped protectively behind her. Vanessa took a slow breath, forcing her voice calm. You don't need your mom's things, she said. You have me. That should be enough. Lily's tears spilled over. You're not my mom. The words came out soft, not hateful, but they hit Vanessa like a slap. For a moment, Vanessa stood frozen, a vein pulsing in her neck, breathing quickening. Then she turned, walked to the living room, and returned, holding a large metal fire-safe box. Lily watched, confused. Vanessa opened it. The blue scarf's silver pattern shimmered faintly under the kitchen lights. No, Lily gasped, stepping forward. Vanessa pulled it out gently, almost tenderly. Sweetness, she said, voice icy. You're still living in the past, and you need to stop. Maria's hand flew to her mouth. Miss Vanessa, please don't. But it was too late. Vanessa walked calmly to the gas fireplace in the living room. She flicked it on, flames rising with a soft whoosh. Lily's little legs carried her across the room as fast as they could. No, that's mine. That's Mommy's. Don't. Please don't. Vanessa looked down at the scarf, at Lily's trembling hands, at her own reflection in the glass fireplace door. And something bitter inside her erupted. You don't need this, she whispered. She dropped the scarf into the fire. Lily screamed. The blue silk curled instantly, silver threads glowing like embers as the flames devoured the last memory she had of her mother. No, 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 Lily sobbed, collapsing to the floor, reaching toward the glass. Maria grabbed her, pulling her back. Vanessa stood frozen, chest heaving, eyes wide as if she couldn't believe what she'd just done. But she didn't apologize. She didn't look guilty. She just looked cornered. We're done discussing this, Vanessa said, voice shaking. No more talk of your mother. Lily screamed again, but this time it wasn't a shout. It was a sound of heartbreak so raw it made Maria's whole body shake. Vanessa turned abruptly and walked away, gripping her own arms tightly as if she could hold her jealousy together before it shattered. Maria knelt beside Lily, hugging her gently as the little girl sobbed into her chest. I'm sorry, mi amor, Maria whispered, tears slipping down her own cheeks. I'm so sorry. Lily could barely speak. She took her away again, she cried. She took Mommy away. In that moment, something fundamental broke in Lily's world, and something much darker awoke in Vanessa's. Lily didn't sleep that night. She lay in her bed with the covers pulled to her chin, staring at the spot on the wall where the dancing firelight still flickered in her imagination. Every time she blinked, she saw the blue scarf curling into flames again, her mother disappearing a second time. She pressed her hands to her ears, trying to block out the echo of Vanessa's voice. You don't need her. You have me. But she didn't. She never did. The house that used to feel safe now felt like a giant with creaking bones and shifting shadows. Every footstep down the hallway made Lily hold her breath. Around midnight, Maria cracked the door open gently. Mi niña, she whispered. Lily didn't move. Maria walked in and sat on the edge of the bed. I brought you warm milk. Lily shook her head. I don't want anything. Maria's heart ached. She stroked the little girl's hair, the part that wasn't singed. Lily, I know she hurt you. I wish I could protect you from everything. A tear slipped down Lily's cheek. Daddy wouldn't have let her do it. He would have saved it. Maria sighed. Your father loves you, but he does not see what happens when he is gone. Lily whispered. He never sees. Maria leaned forward, pressing her forehead to Lily's. But I see, she whispered, and you are never alone. Not while I am here. Lily's breathing steadied slightly, but it wasn't enough to undo the damage. The next morning, the house felt colder than usual. Vanessa sat at the breakfast table dressed perfectly, sipping her green juice as if nothing had happened. She scrolled through her tablet, eyes flicking only briefly toward Lily when she entered. Lily stepped into the dining room timidly, hands clasped behind her back, hair tucked down to hide the uneven burnt ends. Maria walked behind her like a silent guardian. Vanessa set her tablet down. You have school today, she said flatly. Lily nodded, eyes on the floor. And you're not telling anyone about what happened yesterday, Vanessa continued calmly. Understood? Maria stiffened. Lily swallowed. But what do I say if they ask about my hair? Vanessa smiled, cold and calculated. Then you tell them you were playing too close to the stove, or crafting with candles, something childish, something believable. Maria's voice sharpened. Miss Vanessa, she should not lie. It's not lying, Vanessa snapped. It's protecting this family from unnecessary drama. Maria opened her mouth again, but Lily tugged her apron. It's okay, Lily whispered. I won't say anything. There was defeat in her voice that made Maria's eyes burn. Vanessa stood up abruptly. And one more thing, she said, turning to Lily. There will be no more talk of your mother. No drawings of her, no stories, no little altars or memories or projects. Nothing. Lily's lips quivered. But why? Because I'm your mother now, Vanessa said sharply, and you're going to start acting like it. Lily blinked rapidly, trying not to cry. Maria took a sharp step forward. You cannot erase her mother. I can erase the things that disrupt this household, Vanessa shot back. Now get her ready for school. She walked out, heels clicking across the marble, but there was something in her walk today, a rigidness, an instability, that Maria recognized too well. Women controlled by jealousy were the most dangerous. The following week became a slow descent for Lily. Every time she drew something, Vanessa threw it away. Every time she looked at the family portrait wall, Vanessa blocked her view. Every time Lily tried to call her father, Vanessa said he was busy. The scarf incident had changed something fundamental in Vanessa's mind, not just resentment, control. She had to control Lily's thoughts, emotions, memories, everything. One afternoon, Lily sat quietly at the kitchen counter, working on her school art assignment. She drew a little house with 4 stick figures, her father, herself, Maria, and a blank space where she wasn't sure who belonged. Vanessa appeared behind her. What are you drawing? A family, Lily whispered. Vanessa leaned forward. Where am I? Lily hesitated. You're not in this one. Vanessa's expression hardened instantly. Why not? Lily swallowed. I didn't know where to put you. Vanessa grabbed the drawing abruptly. You put me where I belong, in this family. She crumpled the paper and tossed it into the trash. Lily's vision blurred with tears. Maria stepped into the room, voice firm. Enough, Miss Vanessa. This is not discipline. This is cruelty. Vanessa turned, eyes sharp. Stay out of things that don't concern you. Maria didn't flinch. Lily is always my concern. Vanessa stepped forward, too close, too angry. You're a housekeeper. Don't forget that. Maria didn't back down. And you are a woman losing her mind. Vanessa's lips curled into something terrifying. You think you can protect her? Adrian will never take your side. Maria stiffened. Vanessa leaned closer. I am this household. I am his wife. I am the mother now. Then she walked away, leaving the air poisoned. Lily looked up at Maria with wide, frightened eyes. Maria, she hates me. Maria crouched down beside her. No, she whispered. She hates herself, and she takes it out on you. Lily wiped her eyes. I just want Daddy. Maria pulled her into a hug. I know. Later that week, Vanessa's control snapped completely. It was the day of the art presentation at school. Lily waited at the curb anxiously, hoping her father would show up, but Vanessa was the one who arrived. Daddy said he would. He's busy, Vanessa said flatly. Stop expecting things. Lily's shoulders sank. When they returned home, Lily slipped upstairs to play in the bathroom. Something familiar, something quiet. She set up her doll on the counter and pretended to braid its hair. Vanessa walked in, candle already lit from her lavender bath. She glared at Lily. I told you no more of your mother's things, she snapped, and here you are playing pretend again. Lily froze. I'm just playing. Vanessa grabbed the doll from her and tossed it aside. The lit candle on the counter flickered dangerously. You listen to me, Lily, Vanessa said, voice low and trembling. I will not compete with a dead woman. I will not. The flame reflected in her eyes. Lily backed away in fear. Vanessa stepped forward. You are going to obey me, or I will send you away, forever. Lily shook her head furiously, tears spilling. No, please. Then stop crying. Stop clinging to the past. Stop making me the villain. Lily's heel slipped on the rug. She fell backward. Her head brushed the counter. Her hair, just the very tips, touched the open flame. A small crackling sound, a whiff of smoke, a tiny terrified scream. Vanessa's breath caught. No, no, no! But the damage was already done. Lily cried out in pain. Maria came running. Vanessa panicked, and the fuse that had been burning in Vanessa finally reached its end. The smell of singed hair spread through the bathroom faster than either of them expected. Lily stood frozen for half a second, eyes wide, lips trembling, before the pain registered. The tiny burn wasn't deep, but it was enough to terrify her. Enough to send her spiraling into a panic she couldn't contain. Her scream tore through the walls. Ah! It hurts! Maria! Maria! Vanessa's entire body went rigid. Stop! Stop screaming! She hissed, grabbing Lily's wrist, but Lily wrenched away, shaking uncontrollably. Tears poured down her red cheeks as her small hands reached frantically for her hair. It hurts! Maria! Please! Her screams grew louder, echoing off the marble. Vanessa darted forward and grabbed Lily's shoulders. Quiet! Do you hear me? Quiet! You'll get me, She swallowed, her voice breaking. You'll get us in trouble. Lily sobbed harder. I want Maria. Please, I want Maria. Vanessa's desperation turned feral. Look what you made me do, she snapped. If you had just listened. The door slammed open. Maria burst in, breathless, eyes wide. She froze for a split second at the sight of Lily, shaking, hair smoking at the ends, tears streaking her face. Oh, Dios mío, Maria whispered, rushing forward and enveloping Lily in her arms. Mi amor, mi amor. What did they do to you? Lily collapsed into her, sobbing violently. It burned. She said she'd send me away. Please don't let her send me away. Please, Maria, please. Vanessa lifted her chin defensively. It was an accident. She moved too quickly. I told her to obey you? Maria snapped, shielding Lily with her body. To fear you? To forget her own mother? Vanessa's face flushed. I said it was an accident. Maria lowered her voice, venom dripping from every word. There is no accident when a child is terrified of who she lives with. Vanessa's composure cracked. Tears welled in her eyes, but not from remorse, from fear. You can't tell Adrian, she whispered shakily. Maria, please, please don't. He'll blame me. He'll think I'm a monster. Maria stared at her, stunned. You're worried about yourself? She's in pain. Vanessa's voice grew frantic. I didn't mean to hurt her. She pushed me. Maria stood, lifting Lily into her arms. She is a child. You are an adult. Remember that. Vanessa's breathing became erratic. Maria, if Adrian finds out, he'll leave me, she whispered. Her hands shook uncontrollably. I didn't want things to go this far, I swear. Please, please, help me cover this up. Maria froze. Oh no, she said, voice like steel. I will not lie for you. Vanessa stepped forward, grabbing Maria's arm in a panic. Please, just this once. I'll change, I swear. Maria yanked her arm away. I have watched you chip away at this child for months, she said. Now you've burned her. There is no covering this. Vanessa's face twisted with desperation. If Adrian leaves me, I'll lose everything, she said. Everything. Maria didn't respond. She carried Lily toward the bathroom door. But before she could reach it, Vanessa whispered something that made Maria's blood run cold. If you say anything, I will tell Adrian that you are the one who neglected her. Maria stopped. Slowly, she turned. What did you say? Vanessa's voice trembled. I'll say you weren't watching her, that you let her near the candle, that it was your fault. Maria stared, stunned. You would lie like that, she whispered. Vanessa swallowed. I can't lose him. I can't. I panicked. I didn't mean. Maria shook her head, clutching Lily closer. Threaten me all you want. I won't be silent. She walked out, leaving Vanessa trembling in the doorway. As they reached the top of the grand staircase, Lily sobbed into Maria's shoulder. Maria, she said she'd send me away. And Daddy wouldn't know. Maria kissed the top of her head gently. No one is sending you anywhere, mi amor, she whispered. Not anymore. Lily clung to her like a lifeline. In her room, Maria sat her on the bed, trying to calm her trembling breaths. It's okay, Maria whispered. Just breathe. I'm here. Lily cried harder. Maria, will Daddy be mad at me? Maria shook her head. Oh no, Carino. He will be furious, but not at you. Before Maria could say more, Lily's breathing shifted. She suddenly gasped, short, sharp, scared. Her chest rose and fell too fast. Her little hands trembled violently. Panic attack. Maria had seen it before. It's okay, Maria whispered. Slow breaths. Look at me, Lily. Look at me. Lily tried. She failed. She cried harder. Maria wrapped both arms around her, rocking her gently. You are safe, she whispered into Lily's hair. You are safe. But Maria didn't feel safe, because she had no idea how far Vanessa would go, or how soon she might try again. Vanessa didn't leave the bathroom right away. She stood gripping the edge of the counter, staring at the candle flame until her vision blurred. She could still hear Lily's scream echoing in her skull. Her breath hitched as a wave of panic slammed into her chest. What have I done? She whispered. She wasn't asking for forgiveness. She was asking how she would survive this. She splashed water on her face and practiced her expression in the mirror, soft, fragile, innocent. But no matter how many times she lifted her chin just so, her eyes betrayed the chaos inside. Adrian can't see me like this, she whispered. He can't know. She blew out the candle, wiped down the counter, smoothed her dress, and left the bathroom, only to freeze when she heard Maria's voice carrying down the hall. She threatened to send me away. Vanessa's stomach dropped. How am I supposed to protect her, Maria? Lily cried faintly. How? Vanessa pressed her back against the wall, breath trembling. Maria lowered her voice, trying to calm her. Your father will protect you, mi amor. I promise. No, Lily's voice broke. She said Daddy won't believe me. She said she'll lie. Vanessa felt the blood drain from her face. She clutched the banister to keep from collapsing. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run. She wanted to disappear. Instead, she forced herself downstairs. Every step felt like walking through water. She paced the living room, whispering, You can fix this. You always fix things. Just think. But thinking didn't help. What once felt like control now felt like a cliff she was hanging from by one shaking hand. She glanced at the fireplace. The ashes from the scarf had cooled into gray smudges on the grate, a symbol of what she had destroyed, and what she was about to lose. She sank onto the couch, cradling her head. What if Adrian left her? What if he kicked her out? What if she ended up with nothing? Her breathing quickened again. No, she whispered fiercely. I won't let that happen. I won't. She stood abruptly and marched toward the staircase. If she could get to Lily before Maria twisted the story, if she could apologize, manipulate, reshape the narrative, maybe she could still survive this. But halfway up the staircase, she heard footsteps. Maria was coming down with Lily in her arms, bundled in a blanket, still crying softly. Vanessa stepped aside. Maria didn't look at her. "Where are you taking her?" Vanessa demanded. "To get ice," Maria said coldly, "to help her calm down." "You're not going to tell him," Vanessa snapped. "You promised you wouldn't." Maria turned sharply. "I promised nothing," she said, "and he deserves the truth." Vanessa's voice dropped to a harsh whisper. "If he leaves me, I'll ruin you. I swear I will." Maria didn't blink. "You already ruined yourself." She carried Lily toward the kitchen. Vanessa's breathing faltered. She backed against the wall, hands shaking violently. "No, no, this can't be happening." Then, a sound shattered the silence. The front door slammed open. Vanessa froze. Footsteps, quick, heavy, urgent, hit the marble floor downstairs. A familiar voice rang out. "Lily?" Vanessa's heart stopped. "No," she whispered. "He's early. He wasn't supposed to be home." "Lily!" Adrian shouted again, voice laced with terror. Maria gasped from the kitchen. Lily's head jerked up. Vanessa felt her knees weaken. The lie was about to explode. The truth was about to surface. And nothing, no manipulation, no excuse, would save her now. Adrian didn't walk into the house. He stormed into it. The echo of his footsteps ricocheted across the marble floor as he dropped his briefcase and loosened his tie with a frustrated tug. He'd planned to surprise Lily with her favorite pastries. It had been a long week, and the cancellation of his meeting gave him a rare chance to be home early. But the moment he stepped inside, something felt wrong. The air was heavy, the silence thick, the house unusually still. "Lily?" he called again, louder this time. "Pumpkin? Where are you?" He started toward the hallway when he heard it. A muffled sob, a trembling little voice, a panic that froze his blood. "Maria, it hurts. Please don't let her take me." Adrian's heart slammed against his ribs. He ran. He rounded the corner just as Maria carried Lily toward the kitchen. When he saw them, he stopped dead. Lily, wrapped in a blanket. Lily, crying. Lily, hair uneven, burned at the ends. Adrian's breath collapsed out of him. "Lily," he whispered. Maria's eyes widened in horror. "Señor Adrian." But Lily lifted her head, saw him, and reached out blindly with both arms. "Daddy!" He rushed forward, scooping her into his arms with desperate urgency. She trembled against him, burying her face in his chest as if he were the only safe place in the world. "What happened to your hair?" he choked, gently touching the scorched ends. "Baby, did you fall? Did something happen at school?" "Tell me," Lily sobbed harder. "It burned. Daddy, it burned." Adrian's stomach flipped. "Burned? What do you mean, burned?" Maria swallowed, tears welling. "Señor, we must talk." But Adrian had already turned. "Vanessa!" he roared, voice booming through the entire house. Vanessa flinched from halfway up the stairs. She forced a shaky smile and descended slowly, gripping the banister like it was the only thing keeping her upright. "Adrian, darling, you're home early. I was going to—" He stepped toward her like a storm. "What happened to my daughter?" Vanessa froze, lips parted, eyes darting to Lily. I told her to be careful around a candle," Vanessa stammered. "She moved too quickly. She tripped and—" Lily cried louder. "I didn't trip. I didn't." Adrian stiffened. He looked from his daughter's tear-streaked face to Vanessa's trembling lies, and something inside him shifted. He knew his child. He knew the truth when he heard it. He knew fear when he saw it, and Lily was terrified of the woman standing in front of him. Maria stepped forward slowly. "Señor Adrian, Lily didn't fall. She was scared of—" Vanessa cut her off with a furious glare. "Maria is exaggerating. She's always undermining me," Adrian snapped. "Enough!" The word thundered through the hallway. Vanessa flinched violently, but Adrian didn't look at her. He looked at Lily. His voice softened into something broken. "Pumpkin, tell Daddy what happened. I'm right here. I'm listening." Lily hiccuped through sobs. Her little fingers clutched his shirt tightly. She said she'd send me away," Lily whispered. "She told me to stop talking about Mommy. She said I was bad. Then she held a candle and I got scared. I tried to move away, but my hair touched it. Adrian's blood turned to ice. He slowly looked at Vanessa, not confused, not unsure, not hopeful for an explanation, just shocked disgust. "You threatened my daughter?" he whispered. "You burned her?" Vanessa shook her head rapidly. "No, I didn't. She misunderstood. Children exaggerate." Adrian took a slow, deadly step toward her. "Tell me the truth." She inhaled sharply, chest rising and falling rapidly. "Adrian, please. It wasn't what it looked like. I lost my temper. She kept pushing me. She kept provoking." Maria gasped. "Provoking? She is a child," Vanessa snapped at her. "Stay out of this." "No," Adrian roared, inches from her face. "You stay out of my daughter's life." The words shook the entire hallway. Vanessa stepped back as if struck. "Adrian, you don't mean that," she whispered. "Oh, I mean every bit of it," he said coldly. "Pack your things." Her lips parted in shock. "What?" "You're done here." His voice was a blade. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears, not remorse, but terror. "You're throwing me out? Over her? Over a brat who doesn't even—" Adrian's fury exploded. "Finish that sentence," he warned, voice low and lethal, "and I swear you won't walk out. You'll be dragged out." Vanessa choked on her words. Maria stepped between them, clutching Lily protectively. Adrian tightened his hold on his daughter and whispered to Maria, "Get the car ready." Then he turned to Vanessa one last time. "You hurt my daughter. You terrorized her. You destroyed things that mattered to her, and you lied to me in my own home." Vanessa trembled. "Adrian, please, I can do better." "No," he said softly, bitterly, "you won't, not with my child." And he walked out with Lily in his arms. Vanessa collapsed onto the stairs, sobbing, not for Lily, but for herself. Her world was unraveling, and she had no one to blame but herself. The driveway lights glowed as Maria slid into the front passenger seat of the SUV. Adrian carefully buckled Lily in the back, adjusting the seatbelt as gently as if she were made of glass. "Daddy," Lily whimpered, still shaking. Are we going to the hospital?" "Yes," Adrian whispered, brushing her cheek. "Just to make sure you're okay." He shut the door and turned, just as Vanessa stumbled out the front door, makeup streaked, hair disheveled, barefoot on the cold stone. "Adrian, wait!" He didn't. He climbed into the driver's seat and started the engine. Vanessa ran toward the car, slamming her palm on the window. "Adrian, please, I can explain. Just listen." He rolled the window down an inch. "Step away from the car," he said. "Now." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't mean to hurt her. Adrian, I swear, she pushes me. She reminds you of her mother?" he snapped. "Yes, she does, and thank God for that." Vanessa's breath hitched. "You love her more than me," she whispered. Adrian stared at her, eyes cold. "She is my daughter," he said. "My flesh, my blood, my responsibility. Loving her shouldn't have made you jealous. It should have made you better." Vanessa covered her mouth, shaking. "I was scared," she whispered. "Scared you'd always choose her." "I didn't have to choose," Adrian said. "You made sure I only had one choice." Vanessa's knees buckled. She sank to the pavement. "Don't leave me," she whispered. "Please. I can't lose this life. I can't." Adrian shook his head. "You lost it the moment you hurt her." He drove off. Vanessa crumpled on the driveway, sobbing into her hands. Inside the car, Lily clutched Maria's hand tightly. "Daddy, will she follow us?" she whispered. "No," Adrian said gently. "She won't ever get near you again." The reassurance made Lily cry again, this time from relief. Maria looked at Adrian, seeing a man fighting guilt, fear, and rage. She placed a hand on his shoulder. "You saw the truth today," she whispered. "That is what matters." Adrian nodded, jaw tight. "I should have seen it sooner," he whispered. "She tried to tell me. I wasn't listening." Maria shook her head. "You are listening now." Lily whimpered softly from the back seat. "Daddy, please don't let her send me away." Adrian nearly broke. He pulled over to the side of the road, turned around, and cupped Lily's cheeks gently. "Pumpkin," he whispered, voice cracking. "I would burn the entire world down before I let anything take you from me." Lily's tears slowed. She leaned forward and hugged him as tightly as she could. "I love you, Daddy." Adrian closed his eyes. "I love you more." He kissed her forehead, got back in the driver's seat and drove. To safety, to truth, to healing. And Vanessa? Her consequences were far from over. Adrian carried Lily through the hospital doors as if she were the most fragile thing he'd ever held. Maria hurried beside them, her hand on Lily's back, whispering soothing words. A nurse at the reception desk looked up. "Sir, is she—" "She was burned," Adrian said, voice tight with controlled panic. "Her hair caught fire. I need a doctor, now." The urgency in his tone made heads turn. The nurse immediately stood. "Right this way." They were led into a private examination room. The bright lights made Lily squint and tighten her grip around Adrian's neck. "I'm here, sweetheart," he murmured, stroking her back. "I'm not going anywhere." A pediatric doctor entered, gentle and calm. "Hi, Lily. I'm Dr. Shaw. I'm just going to take a little look, okay?" Lily whimpered and buried her face deeper into her father's chest. "It's okay," Adrian whispered. "She's here to help." Slowly, Lily loosened her grip enough for the doctor to examine her hair, scalp, and the small reddened patch of skin near her ear. "It's superficial," Dr. Shaw said gently. "It didn't burn the skin deeply. We'll treat it with cooling gel and check for any inhalation risk, but she's safe." Adrian let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. His shoulders sagged, relief and devastation consuming him at once. "But," Dr. Shaw added carefully, "the emotional trauma seems significant." Lily curled up on the exam table, knees to her chest, trembling. Maria rubbed her back softly. "She's been very frightened," Maria whispered. Adrian's jaw clenched. "How did this happen?" Dr. Shaw asked gently. Lily looked up, lips trembling. "My stepmom." She swallowed hard. "She had a candle. She got mad. She said she'd send me away. I got scared and then—" She dissolved into sobs. Adrian's face contorted with rage and grief. He placed a shaking hand on his daughter's head. "Shh, Pumpkin, you're safe now," he whispered, though his own voice trembled violently. Maria met his eyes, silently urging him to stay strong. Dr. Shaw nodded slowly. "I'm required to report this," she said. "We'll need to make a statement about the incident. Burns in children, especially involving fear responses, must be documented." "Do it," Adrian said immediately. "Whatever it takes." Lily reached for his hand. He held it tightly. A few minutes later, a soft knock came at the door. A police officer and a social worker stepped inside. "Mr. Bennett?" the officer asked. Adrian stood, shifting into protective instinct. "Yes." "We received a mandatory call from the doctor. We need to ask what happened." Adrian nodded and sat beside Lily again, holding her hand. Lily's breathing sped up at the sight of uniforms. "Daddy, am I in trouble?" she whispered. Adrian pulled her close. "No, sweetheart, not at all." The social worker knelt down to Lily's level. "Hi, Lily. My name is Miss Caroline. You're very brave. We just want to understand what scared you." Lily glanced at her father, then at Maria, then at her own hands. She said I was bad," Lily whispered. "She said Daddy loved me more than her. She yelled a lot. She said she'd send me away." Adrian shut his eyes, his heart breaking. "And then what happened?" Caroline asked softly. Lily swallowed hard. She held a candle. "I got scared and tried to move away, but my hair touched it, and then it hurt. And then," Lily's tiny voice cracked, "and then I screamed." Caroline nodded slowly. "Thank you, Lily. That was very brave." Adrian's breathing grew uneven as the weight of the truth settled in the room like a storm cloud. The officer turned to him. "We will be filing a report. The stepmother will need to be questioned." Adrian's face hardened. "I want her removed from my home, immediately." "We can act on that," the officer said. "We'll send a team." Lily squeezed her father's hand tightly. "Daddy," she whispered, "are you mad at me?" Adrian froze. He knelt in front of her, tears burning in his eyes. "Lily, Pumpkin, look at me." She lifted her trembling chin. "I'm not mad at you," he whispered. "I'm angry at myself. I should have protected you. I should have seen this. I should have—" His voice broke. Maria placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Senor, you are here now. That's what she needs." Lily reached out and wiped a tear from her father's cheek with her small thumb. "It's okay, Daddy," she whispered. "I'm okay now." But she wasn't. Not yet. And Adrian knew it. The officer and social worker stepped out to file paperwork, leaving the family alone for a moment. Maria sat beside Lily, humming softly, an old lullaby Lily's mother used to sing. Lily leaned into her exhausted. Adrian stared at the floor, hands clasped, face anguished. "She was supposed to be safe in my home," he whispered. "How did it get this bad without me noticing?" Maria sighed softly. "You trusted someone who did not deserve your trust," she said. "But Lily never stopped loving you. Never." Lily nodded weakly. "Never. Daddy." He pulled her gently onto his lap, hugging her as if trying to hold the pieces of her heart together. Just then, Caroline returned. "Mr. Bennett," she said kindly, "we need Lily to stay for a bit longer. A child trauma. Counselor will speak with her." Adrian nodded. "Anything she needs." Caroline smiled gently at Lily. "You're very brave. And you're safe now." Lily looked up at her father. "Will you stay with me?" she whispered. Adrian squeezed her hand. "I'm not leaving your side," he said. "Not again." Maria exhaled with relief. But just as Adrian began to breathe again, the officer stepped back in with an additional update. "Sir, Vanessa is currently refusing to leave the property," he said. "She is distraught and claiming the child fabricated the incident." Adrian's face turned to stone. Maria's eyes widened. "Dios mío," the officer continued. "We're sending backup. She's becoming unstable." Adrian slowly stood, eyes blazing with a calm fury. "No," he said. "I'll go back." Lily panicked instantly. "Daddy, no, don't leave." He leaned down and kissed her forehead. "I won't be long," he whispered, "but I need to make sure she never comes near you again." Maria took Lily's hand. "We'll stay here, mi amor. Your father will handle it." Lily clung to Maria, eyes watery and frightened. Adrian looked at her one last time. Then his expression hardened, determined, protective, unshakable. He walked out of the room, and the man returning to his house was no longer confused or blind. He was a father with a mission, and Vanessa had no idea what was coming. The mansion loomed in the night like a frozen monument, silent, dark, and waiting. Adrian's car screeched into the driveway. He stepped out with a clarity he hadn't felt in years. No confusion, no hesitation, no benefit of the doubt, just determination. 2 police cruisers sat near the front steps, lights flashing silently. A pair of officers stood by the entrance, conversing with Vanessa, who looked wild, hair messy, mascara streaked, pacing barefoot on the cold stone. "Adrian!" she screamed the moment she saw him. "Finally! You have to listen to me. They're twisting Lily's words. Maria poisoned her against me." He didn't even blink. "Step away from my house." She froze. "Adrian, I'm your wife. You hurt my child." Her breath hitched. One officer stepped forward. "Sir, she's refusing to vacate until you speak with her." Vanessa lunged forward, grabbing Adrian's arm with claw-like fingers. "I didn't do anything. She lies. She manipulates you. She wants all your attention." Adrian peeled her hand off of him, one finger at a time. "Don't touch me." She staggered backward. "I made this home for us," Vanessa cried, "and you let that little brat destroy it." Adrian's voice dropped into something cold and fatal. "Call her that." Again. Vanessa flinched. He stepped closer, towering over her, not in anger, but in truth. "You were jealous of a child. My child. You resented her for having a place in my heart you were never meant to replace." Vanessa's lips trembled. I just wanted you to love me as much as what?" Adrian growled. "As much as I loved her mother? As much as I loved my daughter?" Vanessa swallowed hard. "I gave you love," Adrian said, voice low, "and you poisoned it. Every whisper, every threat, every cruel moment." Her knees wobbled. "You didn't just hurt her emotionally," Adrian continued. "You put her in physical danger. You terrified her. You took something sacred from her and burned it." Vanessa shook her head violently. "She pushed me. She made me angry. She's been manipulating you for months. Stop blaming a child for your insanity." Adrian roared. The officers stiffened. Vanessa's breath broke into sobs. She reminds you of her," Vanessa said, voice cracking. of your first wife, of that perfect woman I could never compete with. I knew every time you looked at her that you were seeing someone else, someone I couldn't kill, someone I couldn't erase." Adrian stared, horrified. "There it is," he whispered. "The truth." Vanessa covered her mouth, realizing too late what she had admitted. "You wanted to erase my daughter because she reminded me of her mother." Silence fell like a falling blade. Adrian straightened, voice turning into iron. "Officers, remove her," Vanessa gasped. "No, Adrian, please, I didn't mean it. I just wanted us to be a family." "You were given a family," Adrian said, "and you destroyed it with your own hands." The officers stepped forward. Vanessa backed away, shaking. "No, no, Adrian, please. Please don't let them take me." "You lost that right when you laid a hand on Lily," Adrian said. Vanessa screamed as the officers gently but firmly escorted her to the cruiser. Adrian turned his back. The door shut. The police cars drove away. The mansion grew silent again, but this time it was the silence of a war finally over. Adrian walked inside, the weight of guilt crushing his chest. Every step felt heavy, like he was walking through the consequences of every moment he hadn't been there. He looked around the living room, at the fireplace where the scarf burned, the charred remnants still faintly staining the grate. He exhaled shakily. "How did I not see it?" he whispered to the empty room. "How did I miss the signs?" His knees buckled. For the first time in years, Adrian Bennett sank onto the cold marble floor and wept. And in that moment, something in him changed. Forever. Section 11. The Healing. Father, Daughter, and the Weight of Love. 900 words. When Adrian returned to the hospital, the first thing he heard was Lily's soft voice echoing down the hallway. "Maria, will Daddy come back?" Maria's voice wavered. "Of course he will, mi amor. He just had to take care of something." "Did he go to yell at Vanessa?" "Maybe a little," Lily sniffled. "I don't want her to come back." "She won't," Maria said firmly. "Ever." Adrian stepped into the doorway. Lily turned, eyes red, cheeks damp, hair uneven, and her whole face lit up with fragile hope. "Daddy." He crossed the room in 3 strides and scooped her into his arms, holding her tight, burying his face in her hair. "I'm here," he whispered. "I'm right here." Lily wrapped her arms around his neck and sobbed into his shoulder. Am I still staying with you?" Adrian pulled back, cupping her cheeks gently. "You're never leaving my side again," he said, voice strong despite the tremor in it. "Not for a single moment." "Promise?" she whispered. "I swear." He kissed her forehead. Maria smiled behind them, relieved. Adrian sat with Lily on the bed, his arm wrapped around her as she leaned into him. "Pumpkin," he said softly, "I need to tell you something important." Lily looked up. "None of this was your fault. Not a single bit. I should have protected you sooner. I should have listened. I should have been home more, but I promise you," his voice wavered, "I will make it right. I will fix what she broke." Lily touched his face. "You're fixing it now." Adrian's throat tightened. A knock came at the door. Social worker Caroline stepped inside. "Mr. Bennett," she said, "we need to discuss Lily's safety plan moving forward." Adrian nodded. "She's staying with me, permanently." Caroline smiled. "We're already filing for emergency protective orders. Vanessa will have no contact. A trial will follow." Adrian kissed Lily's hair. "Good." Lily looked up timidly. "Daddy, will Maria stay too?" Maria's eyes widened. "Lily," Adrian answered without hesitation, "if Maria wants to, she has a home with us, always." Maria's voice trembled. "Of course I want to, mi amor." Lily hugged her tightly. Caroline cleared her throat gently. "Lily, would you like to tell me how you're feeling?" Lily looked at Adrian first. "Is it okay?" she whispered. "Yes," he said, brushing her cheek. "I'll be right here." Lily took a deep breath. "I feel scared," she said softly, "and sad, and a little bit safe now." Caroline nodded. "That's very brave, Lily. Very," Lily continued. "I don't want to go back to that house unless Daddy and Maria are there. I don't want candles anymore, or dark hallways, or stairs." Adrian's heart cracked all over again. "You won't," he whispered. Caroline smiled kindly. "We'll arrange therapy, support, anything she needs." "Thank you," Adrian said firmly. After she left, Adrian shifted Lily onto his lap and held her close. "Daddy?" Lily whispered. "Yes, Pumpkin?" Can we go home?" He nodded. "But not that home," he said gently. "A new one. Just us, somewhere warm, somewhere safe." Lily rested her head on his chest. "I want that." "I do too," Adrian murmured. And in that hospital room, quiet, dim, but safe, the healing finally began. 2 months later, Lily stood barefoot on the balcony of their new penthouse, wrapped in a soft pink sweater, her hair neatly trimmed and growing back healthy. The city lights twinkled beneath her like stars turned upside down. Adrian walked out with 2 mugs of hot cocoa. Maria followed with a knitted blanket. "Stargazing time?" Adrian asked with a smile. Lily nodded eagerly. "Yes." She sat on a cushioned bench, Maria beside her, Adrian on the other side. They wrapped the blanket around the three of them. Lily took a sip of cocoa and leaned against her father. "Daddy?" "Yes, Pumpkin? Do you think Mommy can see me?" Adrian smiled softly, his eyes warm. "I think she's been with you every day," he said, "and she's proud of you. So proud." Lily smiled, a real one, soft, healing, hopeful. Maria placed her hand on Lily's back. She would be proud indeed. Lily looked up at the sky. "And Daddy?" "Yes?" "I like this family." Adrian pulled her close, kissing the top of her head. "I love this family." Lily reached for Maria's hand and her father's hand, holding both tightly. The past no longer haunted her. The fear no longer lived in her chest. The shadows in her memory were fading. She whispered, "I'm safe now." Adrian closed his eyes, letting the moment wash over him like forgiveness. "Yes," he breathed, "you are." And for the first time in a long time, everything was calm, everything was warm, everything was right.